All right. GLHF, GLHF. All right, game 2. People a little less loose with their points, I see. Which is fair enough. Actually, 3.5k still in our favor. Wow. People haven't learned the lesson. I still bet everything. Aw, Dave, a believer till the end. What can I say? Well, I mean, when you're subbed, you do regain the points more quickly. I only had 500 kick W. Yeah. All right. Knight f3. We're always gonna start knight f6. I'm not into the e6 knight f6. It just doesn't feel right for me. I'm just not into it. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, I think when this happens, you have to threaten your own. You have to threaten your own, right? You have to threaten an f7 sack, because if you don't, what are you even doing with your life? It's just not a good place to be. This forces like the c pawn push, probably, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, although I have to think about this. Should use the bathroom in between. Doubters have massive returns margin again. Cement is just a believable kind of person. You're too kind, Andre. What's the margin? I missed it. I don't have easy access to it from my end. I mean, this forces the queen move. And then we keep the tension. Let's think here. There are actually traps here. There are genuinely traps here. Wait, do the traps happen in time? Do the traps happen in time for black? Hold on. I think I have traps. I have to think about this. No, they do? Maybe? Maybe they don't. There are traps here, and I don't know if I want to go for them. Maybe we do this and then see what our opponent does. Today's a chill day of experimentation. I'm not going to let the pressure of people's channel points, you know, prevent me from doing just what I want to do anyway. So you bet your channel points at your own risk. In the highlight of recent events, I have to revise my betting strategy. I think you mean in light of recent events. The market is being shook. My father dropped by and gave me a bunch of food from my hometown. Oh, that's nice. Good stuff. How far are you from your hometown? Because I know Andre goes to school in Moscow, but I didn't know where he was from initially. Or maybe I've asked before. It's very nice feelings, Andrew. Don't succumb to peer pressure. Dude, don't worry about it. I'm pretty breezy. I mean, for self-preservation, you know, you can't get too caught up. Not far from Moscow by Russian standards. Cool. Good stuff. Ah, he didn't do the thing. He didn't do the thing that's like punishable. Okay. Question is where we go from here. Because, you know, something like d4 is actually super sketch now. Pushing the pawn twice also feels really bad. Capturing here, is not so good, I think, because you sort of, by enabling this capture, you let your opponent double the, or open the, basically activate the rook sooner. Maybe we Frappuccino. Thoughts on Frappuccino? Frappuccino this bishop. I mean, that comes with its own liabilities. Or maybe we do this and activate the bishop and then let him recapture if he really wants. Because there's no danger of the f7 sec happening here, right? Although, I don't know. I don't like leaving this open. Like something like e6 sort of begs to be played in this position. The issue is if that happens, then I totally block in my bishop, right? So I want to be a little bit careful. Well, I mean, obviously you don't want to move this pawn. I don't know. Maybe I want to not worry about triagonals. I think this probably goes a longer way in terms of giving us options. Because now I can do this without being too afraid. I'm getting this bishop out of here. I'm pushing this pawn and then getting this bishop active. Yeah, I like trading out with the queens. It exacerbates the tempo disadvantage that I have as black, but we're, you know, we're just going for it. That's the theme of today's stream, is just going for it. I mean, you know, with mixed results, judging by last week's game, or judging by the previous game, but about 400 kilometers from Moscow. Okay, that's not too bad. 400 kilometers, that's like 230 miles or something, maybe. Is that right? 250 miles? Somewhere in that region. So like basically like a 4-hour drive, I guess. If you're going fast. Also, it depends on which part of Moscow you measure. I feel you. Oh, interesting. This is interesting. I wonder if we push this pawn. Oh, or maybe this knight out. It's probably a bad idea. Okay, the thing that our opponent has done now is trapped his bishop quite substantially, which is like exactly what we were trying to avoid doing for ourselves. So I'm pretty happy about that. Takes here basically forces this, but then we don't really have a follow-up. Right? What if he did one of these? Prepping, well, okay, so if this happens, then what? Not a whole lot. Takes. Takes here. I don't really want to like activate this bishop. That bishop's kind of scary. Maybe Frappuccino this bishop. No, I want to do something with this bishop. Bishop here. We're spending way too much time on developing moves. I think that we probably just want to go for it. I don't really have a plan. It's just, you know, I don't know. Like a bishop here could be annoying. Just spitballing. It's might want to plug the ginormous 3-bracket 3-hole tournaments team tourney we're doing. Sure. So we are doing a team tourney. There's a team tourney in the works, which I've been wanting to do for ever. I don't really know what the format is yet. We're still cooking that up. I think that Void and Crazy Penguin have been sort of working on that together. It was initially going to be like there was a hand and brain tournament, and then they wanted to do like a different teams tournament that was just like sort of basically collaborative, like you just discuss openly. And we decided that it made a lot of sense to combine the two, just because, you know, there's a lot going on. It's hard enough to fit another tournament in with like between the league and the cup and like the exotic tourney that's going on and a few of the others that people are trying to put on. It's easy to get like communal event fatigue, you know. So consolidating it all into like one team's event made a lot of sense. They wrote up a rule set for it that I haven't had the time to check out, but that I will do. But it's probably going to be saying 3-bracket 3-hole tournaments teams tourney. So I don't actually know what Void means by that, but the format we'll figure out. We'll discuss. But I mean, the moral of the story is we've got a teams tourney in the works, which is going to be super fun, super exciting. And so keep your eyes peeled for that. I know a lot of people have been asking for like a hand and brain event or some such. So exciting things on the horizon. Yeah. Set teams, adaptive teams, and hand and brain. 3 full tournaments in one. Yeah, so we still have to discuss. I was envisioning something closer to like there are multiple formats. It's all set teams, but each match consists of multiple team variants. Blah blah blah. Didn't get a thing. Just another attempt to steal my rating. Dreamer. Classic Dreamer. Too worried about his rating. He's too paranoid. It's unrated on Long Clock Streamer. Yeah, we'll have to discuss what the format actually is. But I was imagining more that you play the different teams variants over the course of like a single round to determine like a best of 3, you know, and like you pick 2 of the 3 variants or something to play, and then the tiebreaker you play the 3rd variant. So like set teams like collaborative, hand and brain, and then like alternating moves. And maybe even if something like the 5D house becomes like viable, maybe throwing that in there. I don't know. I'm still in the ideas phase. It sounds like you guys have a lot more rigid idea of what you want it to be so far. I just haven't really worked it through yet in my own head. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense. Prevents this pawn push. What I think we want to do now is pin this knight, right? Like every single day of the week, we want to pin this knight. I think that we always want to pin this knight. Takes here, takes, and then we've got access to, I mean, not that a lot will come out of it. I think that this game is likely to go to a pretty endgame situation here. Los is here. Hi, Los. How's it going? I think long clocks is pretty unfeasible, especially because when you're trying to coordinate between 2 people, like medium clocks is difficult enough. I think that trying to coordinate between 4 people per round, long clocks is pretty unfeasible. But again, we'll talk about it. So it's still in the pipeline. It's still in the pipeline, but we'll figure it out. Best of 3 isn't really practical because 2 of the 3 variants need long clock. Yeah, so right. So I think long clock is really rough. Long clock is super rough. 4 people, long clock. Like one long clock game is already like, you know, a full, assuming all the time is used, that's like a complete 5D League set, and it's like difficult enough to make that work. You know, people have trouble playing their League games all the time, right? So welcome, by the way, Penguin. Penguin's here. How's it going, Penguin? Yeah, like in the rules doc, there will be a tiny text at the bottom saying if you're 1900 plus, you have to pay 50 rating as a fee to enter. And then 10 for every game played. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we reserve the right. You know, for as much not thinking about the position as I've done this game, I'm down a lot of time. Like, I definitely haven't played in a manner that is commensurate to the amount of time that I've used on the clock. But what else is new, right? Yeah. Who would the rating fee go to? Oh, the tourney organizers, of course. Reserve the right to make alterations to any participant's ELO rating. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the fine print. Classic. It's an interesting position, though. Yeah, the game just warps so, like, intensely as soon as you take the queens off the board, right? In the general bank, I guess, and then divide it equally between participants. But I guess some of organizers will just steal it all and run away. ELO embezzlement. Yeah, you never know, man. You can't be too careful nowadays. I wonder if I wonder about just closing the position here. I wonder about that. Our opponent, I mean, doubtless this is a consideration, right? Let's talk about how we can actually win this game. What are our ideas? Well, flagging our opponent's definitely gonna be a win. ELO, bribe, lol. Scam is everywhere. Scam is everywhere. Dreamer's got his tinfoil hat on. His 5D tinfoil hat. I don't even know what we do here. Yeah, the structure, if he tries to break here, yeah, what with the doubled pawns and such, I think it doesn't look so hot. Oh, that's interesting. Well, this does mean our opponent opens himself up for the sack here. Let's see, what does this accomplish besides just not flagging? I don't think any of these are good moves. And he's opened himself up for a sack here. So a sack happens, king takes, right? And then check. And then anything happens, and then we have another check, and then this bishop mates this king. Not to mention there's a mate here. I don't believe it. I think we're going to do one of these. I think we're going to do one of these, kick this knight, and just waste time. We found ourselves a win condition, basically. And it's the win condition is an f2 sack. Unless I'm missing something, which is possible. But these bishops are hemmed in. I just don't see very much going on. And all we have to do is buy ourselves like 3 or 4 turns. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm really not too worried about it. Actually, this is a fantastic point. The knight being here means that I can't check here after the king goes and then deliver another check. It just doesn't work that way. Because knight here and then knight takes. But then how does he defend? No, I think it's still quite good for us. Yeah, I think we're still in a good spot. Mm. Would I make this sack, like if I could sack onto, oh wow. Huh, interesting. Really? I think I take here to preserve the travel onto this board, right? Oh, okay, here's a really interesting consideration that I hadn't thought of. If I take this knight with the king, then I can't travel back to this board because this knight will be attacking the king in the future, which recaptured this knight here, if that makes sense. So there is an argument to be made for recapturing with this knight here, because then I can go to this board without that fear. Yeah, and I go to this board, check, check, check. Okay, big brain plays, fam. Big brain plays. All right. So yeah, this knight here, if I captured with my king, then if I traveled to this board, then on the other board and 2 turns into the future, this knight would be attacking the king from the new timeline. And that's not cool. So now we're timing out the clock, basically, until we get this. Now I think probably the idea is to here is to pin the knight after recaptures, right? I think I might just ignore it because all I have to do is buy time until I can travel to here on this board. Let me make sure that that's true. No, it's not, because this isn't a queen. I can check here, and then my opponent doesn't even have to respond, right? What can my opponent do besides respond? My opponent can't go here or here because then this would be double check. Check both with the bishop and check with the knight. And if my opponent moves far enough, then this becomes mate going to here because it's completely undefended. So then chase away. So I don't think it actually works like immediately. I think that there are some intermediate steps that need to be respected. Okay. Okay, so we're in a bit of a situation here. I think we want to take here. Take here. Maybe not. Maybe we just want to do this. And then if takes here. Actually, if takes probably just takes back with the bishop. No, it takes here. Well, no. I know. I just like this move. I like this move because then traveling to like here, well, hard to say. We could also pin the knight ourselves, but then just activate the bishop, right? It's not a big deal. So the idea is if takes here, then something like this maybe, and then takes, and then if the bishop sacks and we recapture, then there's this knight check, which doesn't actually result in anything, but maybe there's a time travel. Maybe. It's an interesting idea. I think we have to be careful here. I think a little bit of caution. I think a little bit of caution. Then again, okay, so if we check here... Wait, if we do travel to here and our opponent doesn't take, which I think is basically like... or if we travel to here and our opponent doesn't take, and our opponent has to move, right? So then we have check here, and then if bishop blocks or something, then we have... check. Wait, no. There's a bishop here, and there's a king here, because bishop can't go here or here. So then we check here, and then our opponent has to block, which can be done either with the knight or the bishop. How do we actually convert? It's not clear to me how we convert. We might need more pieces in the mix. I gotta think about this. This bishop defending this pawn actually turns out to be a bit of a bother. What are other options here? We don't have many great ones. I gotta think. Oh, but I'm low on time. Where will this bishop be most useful to me? We might actually... maybe here. Well, no, here probably, because then if takes, then like takes like this, like we still cover the file here. All right, maybe we just do this in the interest of time. All right, Andre's back again. Once I capture a knight with a queen, 2 moves back. Yeah, you can't, the same way that you can't take pawns or bishops 1 turn in the past, you can't take knights 2 turns in the past, because the knight just takes back. With a queen. Yikes. I mean, it just goes to show. Happens to everybody, right? How would you describe your games against Narik today, Andre? Fun. That's good to hear. Do you find it fun losing 40 rating? Dreamer. You're too caught up in the whole rating thing. I'm having plenty of fun losing rating right now. These are I'm broadening my 5D chess horizons, you know. I can just regain it by playing you, Dreamer. Wow. And shots fired back just like that. Andre, quick with it. Oh yeah, I forgot about that option. Also lower the rating the more points you take from opponents. True. Captain Obvious, welcome. So now people will fear me. I am sad I haven't bet more than 3K, I think, despite not earning a lot. Yeah. You should stream Pokemon Coliseum. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Coliseum was one of those holes in my like gaming experience that I never, despite all of the time I put into Pokemon, I've never played through the Coliseum games. They just sort of ooh. Interesting. He doesn't recapture anything. Maybe we do this just to allow ourselves to castle. And also to cut off our opponent's shenanigans in this direction. Yeah, this enables us to castle safely. Safely, TM. I mean, you know, you're still compromising your position substantially, but... It's got the Johto starters. Oh, I love the Johto starters. I'm kind of a maximalist. That's why I care so much about success. Rating does not equal success. I agree with Andre. Does it show in your education, I wonder? And the puppers? Oh, I love the puppers. Oh, Coliseum is the one that's right. Coliseum. Wait, there's Stadium and Stadium 2, and then Coliseum, right? Um, maybe? No, is it just called? No, Stadium is the... I've been playing a lot of Melee, so Pokemon Stadium keeps wanting to like jut into my brain. Oh, hold on, hold that thought. Question is now... I mean, hilariously, our bishop's not trapped because it can just go here. But this is that turn that we've been talking about this whole time. So it's a bit of a do or die situation. If takes, then we have the win, right? If takes back. Because if takes back, then we have check, and then second check, and then this is mate. I believe. Assuming, again, that our opponent doesn't have any... Well, no, can't travel from here. But if doesn't take, what are the other options? There's a knight here, which always just kind of stresses me out a little bit. Bishop goes here. Can't go here because that runs into mate. Can't go here because that also maybe runs into mate. Almost. Or no, it doesn't next turn. But like, if goes here, then... No, I mean, that's an issue. Because goes here and then check. And then takes here and then this bishop is checking this king. So that doesn't work. So this is only move, right? So if takes goes here, what if we do something wacky? Like, let's see, we have a bishop check here. Seems crazy. We have a bishop check here. Oh, here's what we do. Goes here only move, question mark. And then we check here with this bishop. And then between these two bishops, these aren't legal squares. These are losing squares, so he has to recapture. And then the bishop here will check the king up here. Okay, I think maybe we found it. I hope it's in enough turns. I hope we do it fast enough, because it's possible that we don't. Actually, let me do this calculation. Here on this board, and then check. That's where we do here. And then he moves on this board, and then... Okay, we have the mate. No, the king can go back and recapture. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we'll have to see if our opponent finds it. But I think only move for our opponent if we go down that line, hilariously, is for him to travel this king back to take the bishop that we'll check him with here on this board. I don't know if we're winning after that. We're probably not, because our opponent's got timeline priority, and also... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're probably in a bad spot. We've also given up a lot of our pieces. But it's super fun and interesting. And today is the fun and interesting stream. So we're just going to go for it. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely sometimes even in negative sides. Andre says defending F7 sec is more of the success for me. I feel like Dreamer should change the color of his Twitch name to orange to match his Discord name on the server. True, you can do that. That'd be neat. But then Pfannkuchen can change the roll color. Keep trolling Dreamer. He sinks time, but he does not moon the game. Neil Armstrong. Very nice. Okay, when is the Boring Sad stream again? Boring Sad stream was, I think, 3 weeks ago. So we're due for another one in maybe like another 1 or 2 weeks. But why? Wait, what? Does this not... Hold on, check. And then we check him here. And then we take this knight, and then this is mate, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, so here on this board, here on this board, and then we take here on this board. Yeah, because he can't take this bishop from this board. I think we're Gucci. I think we are golden, I believe. That was a sad stream, but not boring. True. That was... I think the entertainment value of that stream was high. It did really mess me up. I was really upset. But I think it was like a loop. I think it was like... yeah, that was where it was a combination of like... I wasn't playing so hot. And then we had a ton of people in the stream who were cheering and going nuts. And then we got carried away with the predictions. And then people went real crazy. They got super mauled when I blundered a completely winning position. And then they lost all their channel points. So then I felt the collective peer pressure of the chat like completely flaming me the whole time. And then that just made it harder to win. And it was like a whole cycle of like the pressure of taking chat too seriously and then losing and then making chat mad, you know, more mad. Yeah. Looks like you would have had mate anywhere here. Yeah, I think we had some interesting mate situations. I would have liked to see what happened if our opponent saw that taking here isn't immediate mate. Because moves here and then takes, and then this isn't quite mate because then this king can grab that bishop. So I don't know. Yeah, so here we've got king on this board, f3, f4, and then captures here is the nail in the coffin. Now all our opponent has is a travel from upstairs. Can our opponent do anything here? The problem is they can't go very far into the past. And we can set up a check. Let's see, where would they have to go to see this? They'd have to go here, here, or here with a knight, or here, or here with a bishop. Can't really get a bishop to any of those squares. This bishop can't travel that direction at all, and neither can this bishop. The only place that really he can go the furthest back is with this knight. If a knight goes here, then with this single knight move, I think that I cover all the possibilities. Well, okay, or with this bishop move, I suppose. Which one would be better to do? Let's think. He goes here with his knight. And the idea is that here or here is the only way that this knight can get to this bishop on this board. Well, I guess then this bishop... Probably bishop d6 is like the most calm reason. I can either deliver a check or prevent the knight from getting to those squares, right? And he only has one turn after that to get the knight to either of those squares. So I think they both win. I think they both win. We weren't that mad. No, I know. I was probably projecting because I was upset at myself, you know, for being such a doofus. And then you sort of like project that onto chat. I know that chat's lovely. They wouldn't actually be mad. Well, I don't know though. Actually, Dreamer was pretty furious. It's always hard to tell with Dreamer, but yeah, he was malding. Yeah. I was typing moon in caps so that gods can hear me and grant you speed. Andre, did you see my Neil Armstrong fake quote? Cement fake quote? I haven't heard the original of the quote, but sounds wise. It's only fun when Dreamer is furious. That's true. That's true. Fun is directly proportional to how upset Dreamer is a lot of the time. I know that much, lol. Yeah, I think we know, you know, the man's legacy. It's more a question of like which quote exactly you're sort of taking your creative liberties with. There's an argument to be made for this. Again, we just talked about this as like this is his only move. Actually, I thought he'd go here. Going here, he can move the knight here, but then we can deliver a check. So I think maybe here is best because he can't prevent us from checking here on this board. And if he goes like check here, then we just recapture. It's not a big deal. Yeah, let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. Because it's just literally impossible for him to prevent this bishop from going here and taking this next turn. And so we're not worried about it. And if he delivers check, then we just capture the knight, so it's not a big deal. We're just going this way. Poison's here! Hey! We were wondering where Poison was a little bit earlier in the stream. How's it going, Poison? What's up? Gagarin's famous quote is roughly, let's go. We don't get taught that in the States. No. No, this is actually Poisson. Oh, damn. We got some math royalty here in the chat in that situation. Yay! All right, redemption. We made up for a miscalculation earlier with this cheeky line. I mean, this isn't even the cheeky line that I wanted to go for. I thought that this recapture here wouldn't happen and that he'd move away, and then I was, you know, and then we had some really cute ideas. But here we go. Good stuff. En Poisson. Oh wow, okay. Chatbot haven't had the opportunity to break out the banhammer for a while, and chat moved immediately as I attempted to ban the bot, so I banned Void. Sorry, Void. How do I unban Void? I think it's just /unban. Void voyage _ sci-bi. There we go. F in the chat. Sorry, Void. I've got like a GUI, you know, so you like basically click next to the name in my chatbot software, and then just as I clicked, chat moved and you're the next person, so sorry about that. Rip in peace. But yeah, Void's back now. Welcome back. Unfortunate. Sorry about that. Oh man. Okay. All right. GG's, Gumby. Wow. Okay. Rep W at Gumby. All right.